Welcome to Top Amazing Fact. Forget the typical cats and dogs, these wild and exotic pets take things to a whole new level. These fearless owners didn't just adopt an animal, they brought home creatures that most people would never dream of keeping as pets. From sharp claws to venomous fangs, these jaw-dropping animals show that some folks truly live on the edge. If you thought your dog's bark was intimidating, just wait until you meet these awe-inspiring and, frankly, terrifying companions. These are the 15 most dangerous animals kept as pets. Most little boys dream of having a puppy or a kitten as a best friend, but Sambath from Setbo village in Cambodia is not your average kid. His journey started when his mother discovered a tiny snake in their home. Instead of chasing it away, she decided to keep it, believing the snake was a sign of protection after dreaming about a giant serpent guarding her family. As fate would have it, this little snake turned into Sambath's first friend. At just 3 months old, Sambath fell in love with the slithering companion. They'd spend hours together, hugging, cuddling, and even napping side by side in Sambath's crib. The family named the snake Camroan, which means progress in English, and soon the little boy was crawling alongside the baby python as it learned to slither. But little Camroan didn't stay small for long. As the years went by, this tiny snake grew into a massive 16-foot-long, 220-pound python. Despite its intimidating size, the bond between Sambath and Camroan only grew stronger, and their connection was as unbreakable as ever. Villagers often marveled at this unusual friendship, praying that the massive python would continue to watch over Sambath and his family. However, not all love stories have fairy tale endings. One day, the unthinkable happened: Camroan bit Sambath. Despite their deep connection, the family had to make the heart-wrenching decision to let go of their beloved python. Though their story may not have ended the way they hoped, Sambath and Camroan's bond will forever remain a testament to the incredible friendships that can form between humans and the most unexpected of animals. Sambath was heartbroken, but reportedly told the press that he wants his next pet to be a bunny rabbit. A few years ago, an unbelievable photo hit the internet, and ever since, we've been left wondering, who is this mysterious wolf woman? These gigantic wolves, the kind you'd usually find roaming the wild forests of Alaska, Canada, or Russia, appear to be tamed and calmly following the lead of this enigmatic girl. It makes you wonder, could there be places in the world where keeping these fierce predators as pets is just a normal part of life? We know that up in the Arctic, sledders keep packs of huskies at home as loyal companions, so maybe wolves can become part of the family too. What do you all think? Are these incredible beasts just wild animals, or have they truly found a place in someone's heart and home? Let us know your thoughts by joining the conversation with the hashtag #MissingTopic. And hey, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. You never know, it might just be your lucky charm. Most of us would sprint in the opposite direction if we saw a bear, but for one Russian family, this giant brown bear is just another member of the household. Meet Stepan, who's been living with the Pantelenko family for over 25 years. They adopted him when he was just a tiny, 3-month-old cub, and he's been part of the family ever since. Stepan isn't just a pet, he's a real member of the family. This gentle giant loves to sit at the dining table and enjoys his meals with the rest of the family. After breakfast, you can even find him lounging on the couch, catching up on his favorite TV shows. It might seem crazy to live with such a massive bear, but for Svetlana and Yuri Pantelenko, it's completely normal. They share an incredible bond with Stepan, one that started when they found him orphaned in the woods near Moscow. The couple took him in, nursed him back to health, and raised him as if he were their own child. Over the years, Stepan has proven to be a tame and loving companion. He's even officiated at a wedding. Can you imagine getting married by a bear? How amazing is that? The truth is, Stepan probably wouldn't have survived on his own in the wild, so being adopted by his human parents turned out to be his greatest blessing. But it raises an interesting question: should wild animals like Stepan stay in the wild? Or is there a place for them in our homes? What do you think? It's hard to imagine a more unusual pet than this one. Meet Kojak, a massive crocodile who's been living like one of the family for over 21 years in Bogor, West Java. Erwin and his wife treat Kojak like one of their own grandchildren, even though he's an incredible 9 feet long and weighs around 900 kilos. While owning exotic animals is fairly common in Indonesia, keeping a crocodile of Kojak's size as a pet is definitely out of the ordinary. But to this family, he's more than just a pet, he's a cherished member of the household, proving that love and loyalty can come in all shapes and sizes, even with scales and sharp teeth. This couple has courage like no other. They adopted Kojak, a dangerous reptile, when he was just a tiny baby, measuring only 10 centimeters. But as the years went by, their little croc wasn't so little anymore. Kojak grew into a massive adult, and the family made sure he was well fed, giving him a hefty 2 kilograms of fish every day. Incredibly, even their human grandchildren were comfortable enough to brush Kojak's teeth, showing just how tame he had become. It seemed like Kojak had truly become a part of the family. However, after videos of Kojak went viral online, officials from the Natural Resources Conservation Agency stepped in. Despite how much Erwin and his family loved him, they had to say goodbye. Kojak was removed from their home and taken to Taman Safari Conservation Park, since crocodiles are a protected species under Indonesian law. The transition wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Vets at the park put Kojak on a strict diet, helping him adjust after all the treats he had enjoyed at home. Though the separation was heartbreaking, it was ultimately the right decision, allowing Kojak to live a life better suited for a crocodile. These extraordinary pets had a tough beginning. Palestinian refugee Saad al-Jamal first laid eyes on the 2-month-old lion cubs at Rafa Zoo, and it was love at first sight. The zoo had suffered severe damage from airstrikes, so Saad decided to give these magnificent cubs a new home, taking them to the Al-Shabura refugee camp in the southern Gaza Strip. The lion cubs quickly became cherished members of the family. They named the female cub Mona and the male one Alex. Saad's 6 grandchildren were thrilled, spending hours playing with the cubs. The little lions would chase them around the apartment and even play fight out in the streets. But as you might guess, cute little cubs don't stay small for long. As the months passed, Mona and Alex began to grow, and their playful nature turned into something much more fearsome. It soon became clear that keeping them was becoming a real challenge, especially with their increasing appetite for meat, which was becoming quite costly. That's when the animal welfare group Four Paws stepped in. Realizing that the family could no longer provide the space and care these growing lions needed, they took over responsibility for the big cats. Although it was a difficult goodbye, it was the right choice, ensuring that Mona and Alex would receive the proper care and environment they deserved. The hyena man hyenas are often seen as vicious and ruthless scavengers, known for their ability to attack humans without hesitation. In fact, most communities in Africa go out of their way to avoid any interaction with these dangerous animals. But in some countries, people have discovered how to coexist with hyenas, even to the point of feeding and petting them. In Harar, Ethiopia, humans and hyenas have lived peacefully together for over 200 years, despite a rocky start. Centuries ago, hyenas frequently attacked the town, creating a constant threat. To solve this problem, the townspeople came up with a clever idea. They carved holes in the city walls and began throwing scraps of meat through them to keep the hyenas satisfied and at a safe distance. This practice evolved over time, and today, people like Abbas Youssef, famously known as the Hyena Man, have taken it to another level. Abbas feeds and trains these wild creatures, attracting curious crowds of tourists who come to witness his incredible bond with the hyenas. He inherited this unique skill from his father, who also managed to tame these ferocious beasts. In Abuja, Nigeria's capital, nomadic groups have developed a similar tradition. They've learned to train and handle hyenas from a young age, showing no fear of these dangerous animals. Part of their courage comes from a mysterious medicine they drink, which they believe gives them strength and confidence. It's incredible to see these hyena men command the wild animals to sit, and even hug them, proving that their connection is genuine. It's hard to believe that such ferocious creatures could be kept as pets, but these remarkable bonds challenge everything we thought we knew about the wild. Anyone who's ever owned a cat knows just how fierce and independent these strong-minded felines can be. But having a house cat is one thing, living with a mountain lion in your apartment is a whole different story. That's exactly what Russian couple Mariya and Alexander Dmitriev did when they adopted Metsy, a puma they first saw at the Saransk Zoo in Penza when he was just an 8-month-old cub. They fell in love with the adorable cub and somehow convinced the zookeepers to let them bring him home. Amazingly, the zoo agreed, and Mariya and Alexander took home their dream pet. Now fully grown, Metsy weighs around 90 pounds and shares a small studio apartment with his human family. They've even transformed their hallway into a mini lion's den, complete with a tree, hidey holes, and bamboo-covered walls. It's safe to say that Metsy is living the high life. The couple takes their pampered Puma out for walks, feeds him a diet of raw meat, and takes him for training sessions 4 times a week. Metsy has even become an internet sensation, boasting his own Instagram account with over 1.4 million followers who can't get enough of his wild antics. But not everyone in the household is thrilled about Metsy's presence. Their other cat, a feisty SPHYNX, isn't impressed by the mountain lion and isn't afraid to show it. Whenever Metsy gets too close, the little SPHYNX hisses and swats him away with his paws. Now that's one brave kitty. Bhagwan Doc Antle might have gained worldwide fame through the hit Netflix show Tiger King, but he's been a well-known animal trainer for decades. As the founder of the Institute for Greatly Endangered and Rare Species, TIGRS, a 50-acre wildlife preserve in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Doc has dedicated his life to working with exotic animals. Since raising his first tiger cub in 1982, Doc has trained over 400 big cats and worked with countless other exotic animals, becoming a legend in the world of animal handling. His expertise even led him to Hollywood, where he worked on movies like Dr. Dolittle and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. One of his most memorable moments was in 2001 when he joined Britney Spears on stage at the MTV VMAs, managing his pet tiger as she performed with one of his pythons. More recently, Doc Antle became a central figure in the Tiger King docuseries, which made numerous sensational claims about his Myrtle Beach wildlife preserve. However, Doc dismissed the show, calling it a quasi-fictional drama that focused more on shock value than the truth. Growing up on a cattle ranch himself, Doc is now passing on his passion for exotic animals to his son, Cody, who's earned the nickname The Real Life Tarzan and seems set to continue the family legacy of caring for these majestic creatures. This couple wasn't satisfied with just an ordinary tabby, they wanted something far more exotic. They become the first people in the UK to own a rare and wild Serval cat. To make it official, they even had to obtain a special license to keep this ferocious feline. As part of the requirements, the Serval must stay within a secure garden with a high fence, and all doors and windows of the house have to remain shut to prevent any chance of escape. Living in Manchester, this couple spends around £20 a week feeding their big cat a diet that includes chicks, mice, and even rabbits. At about 3 feet long and still growing, Anubis, as they've named him, is quite a sight. His long legs, extended neck, and massive ears make him stand out. Those ears are especially useful for hearing one of his favorite snacks, rodents. But Anubis isn't the only dangerous pet in the house. The family also has a Cuvier's dwarf caiman, a small breed of crocodile. It's safe to say their home is more like a mini zoo than your typical British household. Surprisingly, their children, aged 4 and 10, aren't the least bit scared by these wild companions. In fact, Anubis even curls up in his owner's bed at night. This is definitely not your typical pet. According to animal experts, water monitors are considered nearly impossible to domesticate due to their aggressive and dangerous nature. These reptiles have been known to crush human bones, and they're also highly venomous. A bite from one of these giant lizards can cause severe bleeding and swelling, and they can grow to be over 7 feet in length. But none of that deterred Rex's owner. She adopted him when he was just a 2-month-old baby and named him Rex because he reminded her of a mini Tyrannosaurus Rex. Raised alongside dogs, Rex grew into a 50-pound lizard and now enjoys a diet of rabbits and squirrels. Despite his fearsome appearance, Rex is quite the household pet. Monitor lizards like him are becoming more popular in the United States, with more people choosing them as companions. And to top it all off, Rex even gets into the Halloween spirit, dressing up as a dragon each year. Meet Hulk, the largest pit bull in the world. Weighing in at an incredible 174 pounds, this giant dog belongs to Marlon and Lisa Grennan, the proud owners of Dark Dynasty Canines in New Hampshire. Specializing in training dogs for protection services, they've turned Hulk into a true powerhouse. When Hulk fathered a litter of 8 pit bull puppies, they became the talk of the town, with each pup expected to be worth around $55,000. Hulk's impressive qualities and strong genes have made his offspring some of the most sought-after guard dogs around. Despite their intimidating size, Hulk and his pups live together as a well-balanced family without fences or barriers. In fact, they're so well-trained that they even interact safely with young children. This gentle giant is a perfect example of how misunderstood the pit bull breed can be. Often portrayed as aggressive and dangerous, pit bulls have been known for their history of fighting and attacks. One study even suggested that while pit bulls make up only 6% of the dog population, they're responsible for 68% of dog attacks. But Hulk proves that with the right training and love, these dogs can be loyal, affectionate, and gentle. Now tipping the scales at around 180 pounds, Hulk is one of the largest pit bulls on the planet. But what do you think? Could he be the perfect ambassador for the pit bull breed? Kevin Richardson earned the nickname the Lion Whisperer from a British newspaper back in 2007, and it's a name that has stuck ever since. This passionate big cat enthusiast runs his own wildlife sanctuary just outside Johannesburg, South Africa, where he's become famous for his incredible bond with lions. A viral video of Kevin playing with his lions has captured the hearts of millions, amassing over 25 million views on YouTube. Kevin's love affair with lions began back in 1998 when he first worked at Lion Park. There, he formed an unbreakable connection with 2 7-month-old cubs named Tao and Napoleon, visiting them every day for the next 8 months. This life-changing bond inspired him to dedicate his life to these majestic creatures. Today, Kevin has devoted his career to protecting lions and actively opposes trophy hunting. He runs his sanctuary with a strict no-breeding policy, ensuring that his lions live out their lives in peace. The way these lions respond to Kevin is truly remarkable. They interact with him as if he were one of their own. It's no wonder they call him the Lion Whisperer. His unique connection with these big cats is something truly special. One of the most infamous cases of exotic pets turning dangerous is the story of Travis the chimpanzee. Raised in Connecticut by Sandra Harold, Travis was adopted when he was just a tiny baby chimp. He grew up as part of the family, and Sandra treated him like any other child. They did everything together, and Travis seemed to fit right into the human world. However, as Travis reached adulthood, problems began to surface. Now a fully grown chimp, he was incredibly strong and powerful. Over time, it seemed that Travis was struggling to understand his place in the human environment he was raised in. The situation took a tragic turn one day when Travis suddenly lashed out, launching a brutal attack that severely injured Sandra's friend. This shocking incident caught the world's attention and served as a stark reminder of how unpredictable and dangerous pet chimpanzees can be, even when raised in a loving home. Jessica is no ordinary pet. She's one of the only domesticated hippos in the world. Spending her days in the river near Hoedspruit, South Africa, and her nights sleeping at her owner's house, Jessica has become something of a legend. Despite hippos being one of Africa's most dangerous animals, responsible for around 500 deaths each year due to their territorial nature, Jessica is remarkably different. Raised by Tony and Shirley Zubair as if she were part of the family, Jessica's gentle and calm demeanor makes her truly one of a kind. Tourists are even invited to join the family during feeding time, where they can meet Jessica up close for a small fee. Tony, a former park ranger, took Jessica in when she was just a baby after finding her mother lying near the border of Kruger National Park. Now weighing around 2,200 pounds, Jessica lives a charmed life with her human family, and her friendly presence brings joy to thousands of tourists who come to see this extraordinary hippo. World-famous boxing champion Mike Tyson is no stranger to wild behavior, but did you know he was once famous for keeping wild pets too? While still in prison, Tyson placed an order for his pet tigers, and for over a decade, the heavyweight champion kept these majestic big cats right in his home. It's safe to say that Tyson's house was one place you wouldn't want to trespass. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened when a woman found herself on his property and had a tragic encounter with one of his beloved white tigers. Tyson claimed that he paid out $250,000 in compensation to this uninvited guest after her hand was severely mauled by the big cat. After that incident, Tyson realized that these rare and exotic animals couldn't truly be domesticated. After 14 years of caring for them, he decided to donate his tigers to a sanctuary, where they could live more comfortably. These days, Tyson has found a much more sensible companion in his beloved poodle, a far cry from his tiger days but perhaps a more fitting friend for the boxing legend now. We've seen all kinds of pets, but a pet buffalo? That's definitely a first. Jim Sautner, from the small town of Spruce Grove in Alberta, Canada, is known for taking his fluffy, four-legged friend with him wherever he goes. This massive buffalo, named Bailey Jr., even joins Jim at the local bar for a cold beer. Weighing in at 800 pounds and measuring 6 feet tall and 8 feet long, Bailey Jr. might seem intimidating, but Jim insists he doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body. Despite being such a huge and powerful animal, Bailey Jr. is incredibly gentle around the house. Jim and his wife Linda have been bottle feeding him since he was a baby, and they've treated him like one of the family ever since. Jim even went as far as to convert his 1987 Pontiac Bonneville so that Bailey Jr. could ride along on road trips. It's hard to deny that this buffalo makes for an awesome pet. What do you think? Could you see yourself owning any of these incredible animals? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe for more awesome content from Missing Files. Thanks for watching.